We're heading to extra time, but there's still 5 minutes to play here, Mark. And by all means, there could be more chances. Still in the box, and it's another goal! And it's Andre Cole, the hero for Croydon! We thought it was over, but it's not over, and Croydon look like they're going to go all the way to the win.
We can't say that now.
Here goes Yuki Sasaki into the area. Penagaris, Chrissy Penagaris. Adelaide Comets have taken the lead.
Falcon there, but it leaves Owen Windsor. And a third for Metro Stars.
Here's Emma Ryan. She's not one of them because she's from Darwin. The shot from DeCola. Oh! Lily DeCola scores in the cup final again and wins it for West Adelaide. Oh, as the ball cuts back here to Odenwalder. And James Odenwalder scores. He makes it 2-0 for West Adelaide on the day.
I bet he was going to be Travella if he puts one in. He goes himself instead. And it's still Joy Sakani. It's unbelievable, David, as well. And that one is definitely going to be credited to him.
Will have to be chased down by Rapawano. He'll put in a cross of his own. Hobbs wasn't able to capture it. It's in! It's not the one that seals up my Atletico promotion.
I got the skills to make the girls sing, and the geezers too. Yeah, we're doing this thing.
Hello, welcome to One Game at a Time for Wednesday, the 3rd of June, episode 15. I'm Sam O'Neill, as always, and for this week, we've got the band back together, all four of us, until we lose another for the next 5 weeks. But before that, we still have another episode ahead of us, and I'll start with Mark Talbot. Mark, what's your favourite kind of chip?
Favourite kind of chip? A hot chip.
Okay. David, for you?
Wood chip.
Okay. I feel like these questions aren't being taken as seriously as I would like. Alessio, for you?
A goalkeeper chip?
Okay. No respect on this show, I see. We'll move swiftly on to our picks after having been embarrassed. I will start. Of course, we had our World Cup episode out on Friday. Thank you to those who did watch, and please do watch it if you haven't yet. But since then, we have found out the final squad for our Socceroos. Certainly plenty of interesting
it down to 60
points. the final squad, I won't list all the names, but of course a number of South Australians: Mohamed Toure, Awa Mabil, Nestori Irankunda, Tete Yengi, Paul Izzo. I don't think I've forgotten anybody there, so I do apologise if I have. But overall, I think a very capable squad. A few surprises, of course. Martin Boyle dropped out. Christian Volpato changing his allegiances to Australia finally. And then, as I mentioned, Tete Yangi with his first ever Socceroos call-up, and he's straight into a World Cup squad. Alessio, we saw the result against Mexico, just a narrow 1-0 win, have Switzerland at the weekend. But what do you make of the squad?
Yeah, I think it's one of those ones as a coach where he's just taking everybody that he feels is enough of a different player to the ones that he left out. I think listening to one of his conferences recently, he talked about Tete Yengi. One of the reasons was if we're looking for a goal late and I need someone big up there, he's the only player we've got. There might have been better strikers who've scored more goals or been more consistent, whatever. But his presence and his figure is just so different to what they have anywhere else. So that's why he's taken him. It goes to the same about the other goalkeepers, one young one, two older ones. And then some of the defenders and midfielders, you've got the same with a couple of older ones in between some really young ones. But yeah, the second youngest squad we've had since the 2014 World Cup. I think it's probably a betting in for some of these players. I mean, it's 18 players, their first World Cup here. So
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a very different look to our team. And I just hope that these young players can provide a bit of spark and not just have to play defensive football. They can try and do something themselves too.
David, to you, I guess the one that's most relevant to you. No, Martin Boyle, he missed out in 2022 due to injury, and then he's missed out this year just to not being picked. Of course, now an Australian, but a Scotsman by birth. I guess how does that make you feel?
Yeah, I'm pretty disappointed for him. I mean, I'd like to see him there, and I feel a little bit. I feel it's a little bit of a poor show to give Volpara the run out there after having, said that he wasn't particularly interested or focused in playing for Australia and wanted to play for the Azzurri, and then the Azzurri don't qualify, and all of a sudden he's interested again. I think I mentioned maybe in a text message to you guys or in our group chat, that Martin Boyle, I think, would fly thousands and thousands of miles to play for Australia, and he has done. And I feel he maybe deserved better. But I mean, he, at the end of the day, it's all very easy for us to sit here and be critical of these decisions. At the end of the day, I guess, or I hope Popovic is doing what he thinks is best for the country. It sometimes doesn't look that way or doesn't come across that way. But I'm really disappointed for Martin Boyle. I think he's a guy who's put a lot in for the national team. He's fit this time around and doesn't get picked, and someone who hasn't expressed allegiance or loyalty to the national team to this point is in his stead.
Mark, your final thoughts, as David mentioned, the very attacking football I'm sure we're going to play against Turkey in that first game of the World Cup.
It's funny actually. I saw an interview with Alexi Lalas, former American captain, today, talking about the Australians and how they're going to set up very defensively, how they're not going to be a very good side to watch and things like that. And I thought, well, he's right in the fact that we won't attack. We are a defensive-minded, under Popper, we're a very defensive-minded team. But he made it sound as though that America were this absolute powerhouse. And I thought, mate, all four teams in the group are very average and all around the same sort of average. There's no standout. There's no Brazil or Germany. There's no World Cup winner. So it fascinated me, and I was like, mate, get over yourself, because Australia will work hard. We know that they're going to be defensive, but they're going to set up in a defensive structure. That's how they set up. I mean, I saw a predicted lineup the other day, and it had 3 centre backs, 2 wing backs, 2 midfielders, and 3 strikers. They had 2 wingers, and I said, Popper doesn't play that way. He doesn't play with wingers. He plays with wing backs. So it's not like he's going to start Toure, Irankunda, and another winger all at the same time, because he just doesn't set up that way. So, but they will go in. They will go in very, very defensive. That's the way Popper plays, and they're going to try and play on the counter. Hence why he's got players like Irankunda and Tete Yengi who can change a game when they come on. So it's going to be it's how it's going to be. It's going to be effectively like a champion, watching like the Champions League final. Very defensive on one side, setting up to counterattack the attacks of the other teams, trying to negate what the other team offers attacking wise. It's as simple as that.
And I do imagine in that game against Switzerland on the weekend, we will see a few changes, of course, now. Sort of the final dress rehearsal. Nestori only came on quite late. Yangi didn't play. Volpato only just landed. Certainly.
I think Mobile got 2 minutes at the end, so there'll be players like he'll. I dare say he'll look to. I'm hoping he'll change the side completely just to give them minutes before the World Cup, regardless of formation setup and that, just to get minutes in their legs, so that if called upon, they're ready to go. They've actually got minutes in the legs. Yeah,
and to make sure you keep Turkey guessing before that first game. Most definitely. David, on to you. By the way, Haiti 4-0 over New Zealand today. Maybe your group isn't as easy as you might think, although it is New Zealand, but still.
I didn't say it was.
Sorry, as hard. Sorry.
Yeah. Look, I think Haiti are. I think Haiti will still be. I think everyone will still beat Haiti. Put it that way.
Wow. Okay.
I don't read too much into these friendlies. Yeah. Okay. So my pick, first and foremost, is the Playing for Ross fundraiser game this weekend that Johnny Keko is organising. So he says we're taking over the pitch at Smith Partners Stadium on Sunday, June the 7th, for a 12:30 kickoff. That's 12:30 p.m. not a.m. All thanks to the support of Sasso. This match is in honour and remembrance of his brother Ross, who unfortunately and very sadly died of cancer as a child some 30 years ago. I don't know anyone who's not been touched by cancer. I lost my younger brother to cancer as well, although he wasn't a child at the time. Very difficult, sad time for us, and the memory lives on. So I think this is a very worthwhile cause. Every dollar raised is going directly to helping South Australian children of families facing cancer. So the organisation that helped Johnny and his family through that difficult time 30 years ago. Kickoff is at 12:30, as I mentioned. It's at Smith's Partner Stadium. The goal is to raise $10,000, and he asks that we help honour Ross's memory and hit that target. So I've got a little bit of information on it as well here that I've got through here. His mum and dad, Anita and Roy. So lovely folks. I think we've all met them at some stage. Yep. To lose a child for any reason would be just devastating. I think my mum and dad obviously lost my brother as well. And that must have been devastating for them. So our heart and thoughts go out to them at this time. The grief never leaves you, I don't think. You can donate either at the game or online. You can also buy gold laces. So Johnny's made gold laces the theme. Gold laces are going to be worn across Federation Games this weekend. Not all, but some, in support of the match and childhood cancer. $1 from every tap beer purchased. Not that we should be promoting the consumption of alcohol, but $1 for every tap beer purchased across Saturday and Sunday will be donated to the fundraiser, thanks to Modbury Jets Soccer Club. Smith Partner Stadium, of course, is the home of Modbury Jets. The match is the curtain raiser to the Inter-Association Amateur Challenge Final. So if you turn up and you're bored, dullless by what you see, don't worry. There's a match that's on straight after it that might entertain you even more. So I'm just going to quickly run through some prizes here. There's a double pass to Guns N' Roses, so there's always a negative, isn't there? A double pass to go and see 90s legends Guns N' Roses, thanks to Triple M and SAFM. Am I supposed to be promoting our rival broadcasters? I don't know. Anyway, look, the cast. The cast is amazing. It's really quite impressive. Of course, he started with the big names: Seb O'Neill, Alessio Carocci, and Mark Talbot, Ali Atkins, Antonis Pagonis, Simon Jimenez. They're the big names, and then he started working his way down the list. So Daniel Mullen will be playing. Robbie Lippett from the Block and Robbie Lippett from West Adelaide will both be playing as well. Lucas Ronaldo, Simon Catanzaro, Marcela Caruska, Ian Fife, formerly of Hamilton Accies, I don't know who else he played for, Jason Trimboli, Fabian Barbiero, Lewis Bray, Marco Flores, and Jared Walsh. And for those who are not sure who Jared Walsh is, he's the guy who at the stadium does the announcements at Adelaide United's home games. So I imagine if he scores a goal, he's going to be going, and it's a goal for Jared Walsh! And I imagine if Alessio Carocci comes up and scores an equaliser, he's going to go, goal, Alessio Carocci. That's what he tends to do, isn't it? There's a little bit of entertainment as well from Adelaide's hottest DJ, Tommy Tequila, who I'm not sure if I'm supposed to disclose, but that is Johnny's uncle. He's a pretty cool cat. So cool that I can't get a conversation out of him. I've tried several times, but he just sits there with the glasses on, just doing this. He's just way too cool. So that is on Sunday, June 7th, 12:30 at the home of Modbury Jets. Please get there if you can, and if you can't, please support it. And I look forward to seeing you three playing. I'm yet to have the call-up. I'm not even in the squad at this stage, but fingers crossed that somebody drops out and I get a chance a bit later on. Anyway, Johnny's game is on this weekend.
Very much looking forward to it. And yeah, I guess for us getting to play with a few legends is pretty cool. And I mean, Mark, you get to do it a lot more than than you do it. So you seem to do it every month or so. But for me especially and Alessio as well, will be a very cool experience. Alessio, onto your pick.
Yeah, I've got a couple. I guess they all kind of go into one. But first, I'll do. Is it the first official sacking? Now, oh no, well technically not. It's the first probably in State League One, maybe for Cobras. They obviously released a statement. A former guest of ours on the show, Tony Gallinopoulos, as well as his assistant, as well Enzo Giannoni, who's also stepped down. I'm not sure if they're relevant to the same thing or if it was his separate decision. But yeah, it's the first in State League One. Of course, they've got a major Australia Cup semi-final in a couple of weeks, and yeah, a big decision for them. Obviously, they've been falling down the table probably since we had them on, unfortunately. But hopefully, that new coach bounce can help them out in the cup and hopefully get their league form back on track as well. Because it's always tough to see a team at the bottom of the league that are still fighting in the cup, because you know they're going to find it really tough if they qualify out of this, and then it's only a bit part success if you get relegated and make the cup final or make the Australia Cup, because the next season is going to be even tougher. Next as well, in the same bar as that, Comets announced that they are keeping Isaac Sese on for the rest of the season. Been really impressed with him as well. Obviously, he was the coach of the game that I commentated on last week, as well as the one a couple of weeks ago against Sturt. And I'm really impressed with how he's integrated his style of football to the Comets. And I think they're really looking on the up and playing much better as well. And side note as well, he's got a really funny saying as well. Every time I hear him on the sidelines, they're doing something he likes. He goes, I like it. Yeah, I like it. And he just, I even talking to some of the players after that, oh yeah, he does do that. I did hear that. And well, it's working, because I'm liking a lot of the way they're playing, and I think they're definitely on the up. So those are my two. The other one I had was Caleb Evans, and a post that South Australia posted this week about two bangers he scored. I think it's 4 years apart, maybe. I remember him. He's actually scored quite a few great goals. I remember a halfway line goal he scored against Sturt in 2021 as well at Martin. And it's great to see he's fitting in well in his new club there at Modbury Jets. And yeah, for a centre back to score goals like this, it's just crazy. But that was the other one. And then the final one was a milestone achieved on the weekend for Domenic Tripodi. 100 games, senior games. I don't think all of them are at Port Pirates, but a fair few of them were. Obviously, a big player for them over the last couple of seasons as well. Was part of their last promotion winning team as well. And yeah, he celebrated a win as well, which was one. I haven't had many this season, but to get in your 100th game is, I'm sure, something that's you're very proud about as well. There was other debuts elsewhere in this game too, but 3 points at home, Friday night game. I think it might have been the only fixture of that league on that weekend. On that Friday, there wasn't actually many games, so it would have had a decent crowd there too. But yeah, a great achievement as well. And he's had a lot of personal accolades over the last couple of years. I think he won the State League 1, State League 2 Reserve Player of the Year. So he's a very accomplished player, and it's good to see him captaining Port Pirates.
Absolutely. Mark, finally to you.
Yes. Right. Okay. Now I remember. Pick of the week. Two. One of them is the Para Hills coverage on the weekend. Because of the rain, it was filmed from the sideline, which for me I actually mentioned it to Simon, cameraman's choice, which is no issue of mine. The fact that the cameraman's chosen to go from there, the fact that the scaff isn't suitable for if it rains like that. Yes, we know that a lot of the scaffs were going to get wet if it rains, but that one is. I mean, you could probably speak for out of most of us, Seb, that it's not the easiest to climb at the best of conditions.
It's very tall.
Yes, and it's also a ladder, so it doesn't make life very easy at all. So it was a little disappointed when I quickly tuned into that game that it was filmed from the side. And at one stage, I couldn't even work out where the pitch was because I was like, it was filmed on. I was looking at one angle, and I was like, I can't even tell. There was no goal in the picture, and I couldn't work out which way was which, and it was quite difficult. So, yeah, I think they need to really look at their scaff. I mean, a few clubs do. I'm not just singling them out because a few clubs really need to look at their scaff, but it does take away from what has been sort of this example, the standards we've set this year with camera and commentary. So that was one, and the other one is that we've started the return fixtures already. The season is now completely halfway through. We started the return fixtures on the weekend, which is rather scary because that means it's June and there's only 11 or so games to go plus finals. So, and it's starting to really across all leagues starting to show a few things, like Pontian sitting top of their table. Haven't lost a game yet, which is fantastic. We had them on as guests last week, which was lovely. I missed that one, unfortunately. Vipers sitting on top of their league, which is turning out to be quite close in this SL2 South. In the WSL, Adelaide City now have taken top spot. We'll cover all of this, but just a quick wrap and around the grounds. Modbury still sitting on top in their league, equal with Adelaide Atletico, which probably none of us saw Atletico being so high. And so the Eastern struggling a little bit there, which most of you guys predicted. West Adelaide women's are flying high, unbeaten, undefeated at this stage, and Flinders really struggling. And then obviously in the WMPL, Bacala sitting top, Metro very close behind, and Para Hills really struggling. So it's going to be a very interesting second half to the season, and really looking forward to it.
Yes, absolutely. Just to add on before we move on to your point about we're already halfway through, I was very interested. I quickly did the maths right. So this is our 15th episode already of this season. We've already done about 21 hours worth of content on this season alone. So just to put in perspective how ridiculous what we do sometimes with how much we do.
Sorry, I missed that.
21.
21.
So by the end of the night, we would probably, and I've gone off an average of, say, our episodes go about 90 minutes each, and I think a few have gone over. So it's probably more about 22 hours of content in terms of just the podcast that we've done so far this year. So
you have to calculate how much minutes a player would have played if they played every game this season, if we've done more as well.
All right, on to the next part of our show. Oh, it's a knock at the door.
I think it's my door as well.
I think Alessio's getting the door.
Pretty close to the east here, yeah.
Is there someone coming to visit? I wouldn't know. Oh,
it's Dom Costanzo from the Adelaide City Football Club.
How are you, boys? Sorry, I knocked on the door too hard, huh?
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Very much appreciated. Of course, after the big win on the weekend, we'll go to that in a moment. But first of all, my first question is always to our guests. Take us through your footballing journey from a junior up until now, where you are at Adelaide City.
Well, if I'm honest, I never really used to like football. I know, even with Dad playing, at a real young age, I never really cared for it. I played for Salisbury Villa with my family. That's where all the family grew up. So that was in Elizabethton District. So I was there because all the cousins and all the family were there already. And yeah, I wasn't too interested. You can ask, Dad always brings it up to people that say it. I used to walk on the field. I used to have swords and like the Batman mask. I never really never really wanted to play. I was just more interested in mucking around. So, but yeah, and then as I got a little bit older, when Dad went to Newcastle Jets, that's when I really got into it. Because in Adelaide, I used to do acting as a young as a young kid. So I got told that there was no acting school in Newcastle. So I'm like, oh, I guess I got to play soccer then. And then yeah, and then from there, that's where I fell in love with it, which was good. Got to see Dad play. Never really watched him when I was in Adelaide, but once, that's where I got to watch him play at the end of his career. And then we were there for a year, and then I come back to Salisbury Villa, and then from there took off.
That's interesting to hear sort of the journey which you've taken through. On the game on the weekend, a big win against the biggest derby in which you could possibly play here in South Australia, arguably. How did that feel? And then also, I guess, sort of a word on Ollie Weston scoring that winner, especially for himself as a junior of the club all the way up until now. We saw the interview after the game. He couldn't really put into his own words of how he felt. I guess, how was it for you seeing that, and then how was he in the changing room and then after the match as well?
Yeah, no, he was buzzing. No, it was good. We started the game exactly how we wanted to. Scored real early. Probably weren't happy to then concede, but then like you said, Ollie Weston saved the day for us. But he's been huge the last couple of weeks, defensively and going forward. And he deserved that goal. And then you could tell he hasn't scored too many based on his interview after. But hey, the way we play, if he's going to keep bombing on, he's got to think of a few celebrations and calm down in his interviews. But no, it was good. It was good. I got a haircut, and I'm happy. So we've been smashing him all week. But no, he deserves it. He's been good.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I think he made his debut only last year in the first team, and since then he's very much at a young age really been a standout for that side. I suppose. Yeah, your second derby since being back as well, at Kilburn as well. How was that place? I assume you hadn't played there before. I guess how was that experience at a new stadium here, which isn't something you get to really do often here in South Australia? Is played at a new place.
Yeah, no, it was nice. The atmosphere was pretty good. They had a little event on before, a few ex-players and that. I think they had a little dinner, so it was good. Looked up during the warm up and realised there's a bit of a crowd here, which is good. Which is what I think we lack most weeks. But no, it was good for this week to play in front of a few people, which was good, and then get the win. I know a few of the Greeks weren't too happy, but that's what can you do?
Yeah, it was a really great atmosphere. Mark, your questions.
I'll jump straight into it. You mentioned earlier you weren't big on football as a kid, but when you started to get into your footballing career, did you feel the pressure to be a footballer because of what your dad had achieved and things like that? Did you feel there was an added pressure moving into the likes of the NPL and the youth league and things like that?
Not really. I wouldn't say it was pressure, but it was more, if you'd say pressure, but more not just trying to prove people wrong, I guess. Not in the sense that, all right, that's everyone would know that's Domenic, that's Domenic Costanzo's son. As you're growing up, is what people would say. And it was more saying, all right, no worries. But let me show you. Like, I'll show you who I am, kind of thing. And that's that was my main thing when I was younger. Even now, even when I signed in Sydney, it was every second article was up. Costanzo's son. So even up until a couple of years ago, I was still getting the same thing. And then my main thing was just trying to say, okay, that's fine. I'm happy that I'm proud to be his son. I've got to make my own path as well.
Yeah, and be your own man, and you've certainly done that over your career now. I mean, you are playing over there as well. You signed here, obviously, for the Adelaide United on a scholarship back in 2021. First father-son combination in the club's history. What was that like? Obviously, it would have been exciting to be able to sign for them, but looking back now, what was it like now that you've had time away from Adelaide United, you've had time away from Adelaide? What was that like?
No, it was good. It was being in that professional environment was something that I was looking for a while. I know obviously it didn't work out exactly how I planned, but that's fine. It was, like I said, father-son combination, which was good. Obviously, and then there was more after that, and they've gone on to be successful. Look at even Ethan Adelaide at the moment. He's really taken. I don't think they speak about his dad much anymore, do they? So he was near. You know what I mean? So he's got rid of that mantra, I guess, and he's got his own name now. So yeah, that was the aim. At the level that I wanted to, but I feel like I'm doing it now, which is still pleasing.
And so you're certainly playing at a decent level here. Obviously, you're playing a good level last year as well. My last question is how have you found it settling back into Adelaide? Because it's not an easy place to settle back into when you live in the likes of Sydney, Melbourne, or even overseas, because Adelaide is considered a small country town compared to some of those cities. How have you found it settling back in personally wise and also from a footballing point of view?
I think personally, it was Adelaide always suited me a little bit more. I did enjoy Sydney, the lifestyle, but it was a little bit quick, and I'm a little bit laid back, and I think Adelaide suits me perfectly. I've got all my family here, all my grandparents, mum, dad, my younger sister, my girlfriend's here as well. So that was a big coming back. All that was good. I did have family in Sydney. I live with my older sister and her family. So it wasn't like that was the luxury I had was I was away from family, but I was also with family.
Yep.
Kind of helped me, and probably that's what kept me there a little bit longer. It was a little bit easier to stay over there. But yeah, I settled back in fine. Footballing wise, it took a little bit. Even now, I'm still getting used to it because they always have the Melbourne NPL, New South Wales NPL. They're the two biggest people say, and then kind of a drop off. But now being back and playing, there is a difference, but it's not as big as what people would say. So maybe in my head I was expecting to not be as good because I was used to a certain level, and I got found out a little bit even in preseason and early on in the year. I didn't start round one, which was probably because I had the foot on the pedal, had the handbrake on a little bit. So yeah, from then to now, I've taken it off and worked a little bit harder.
Yeah, so it's probably just a bit of a shock to find that it's better than what you were anticipating, which is great to hear for an SA point of view, that's for sure. So I think that's all from me.
Perfect. Alessio, to you.
Yeah, I've got a couple. I guess we'll start the last time we kind of saw you in our local leagues was obviously playing for the youth team, but just prior to that, you were on top of the world, one of the top scorers in the NPL at 19 years age, I think, for Croydon. At that time, obviously, Adelaide United did one of the smart things and they picked up their local talent again. But was there a lot of offers on the table at that point that you were also looking at? And is there any that you'd like to talk about that maybe didn't go through that you were really considering?
I think Melbourne City, maybe Patrick Snorber was the coach at the time, and I think he spoke to my dad because they had played with each other maybe in the under 23s in the Socceroos. But I don't think it was a contract on the table like Adelaide United was. I think it was more of we want to come and have a look at you. So it was for me it was a no-brainer. Home in Adelaide, and then like you said, my dad played there, so it was a no-brainer. I thought at the time. Looking back on it, maybe could have waited a little bit longer to finish the year off with Croydon, and who knows, maybe could have won the Serge Melter or got Golden Boot or won the league with Croydon, and things could have changed. But it's easy to say. Hindsight, everyone would be exactly where they wanted to be if we all had hindsight like that. So no regrets though. The way it's all turned out.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And of course, Croydon doing so well last year and finally getting over that hurdle of being champions of SA again. How hard was it? I mean, obviously, I assume you were cheering them on in the offseason and maybe the move hadn't progressed with Adelaide City that much. But could you tell us anything about that offseason where maybe they were trying to get you back. Adelaide City, maybe some other teams. You don't have to mention who and that, but how hard was it to come back to Adelaide City when leaving? You had such a good history with Croydon.
I think for me, the connection I had at Croydon was with the Brazalis, Andrew and Mark Brazali. Mark was my first senior coach, and Dad was the assistant. And then they obviously run the show at Croydon. So yeah, that was always a thought. But I think even they knew once I was done in Sydney and Adelaide City, and Dad was at Adelaide City. I think they even knew that it was a long shot. In my mind, it was I was only coming back for Adelaide City. That's the only club I really wanted to play for. If I'm honest, it was I wasn't going to come back and play for Adelaide City. It was maybe thinking of staying at Apia for another season in the NPL. So they still wanted me there. But yeah, for me, I only wanted to play for Adelaide City, and lucky they wanted me. Or maybe it's because Dad's the TD, they signed me. I don't know.
Of course, obviously, you've played at some of the biggest stages in New South Wales, some of the biggest grand finals, won a lot of achievements there as well. Is there any unfinished business here, as you said, that your aims were for this season coming back? I mean, I know Adelaide City's been on those stages as well. But in the past, maybe they haven't since you've been away. But is there any goals you set at the start of this year coming back to the NPL where obviously a lot of people might have not remembered how good you were before you left here as well, and that you can be a big talent in this league? Is there any goals that you set yourself from the start of this year?
Yeah, I think as a team we an agreement on what we wanted, but individually for me, I wanted once there's trophies on the line, I think. Once you win trophies in the past and then you come into a new season and there's multiple on the line, that's, for me, just try and win as many as you can. Obviously, we got knocked out of the Cup to Cumbie. They had us on the night, which is fair enough. We forget about that and we move on. But then there's still three. I think there's 3 trophies on up for grabs. So, or 2 come first. That was the main one. I think we want to try and put Adelaide City back on the map, and we kind of chance in the Australian Cup, but now with the Australian Championship, I think that's our main goal at the moment. Just try and finish first, and then go from there.
Yeah. The next one I had was obviously you've had a lot of trials and chances at being a professional, and in my opinion, I think you're hard done by from a lot of them as well. But for those watching at home, maybe some younger players, and that, how do you stay so positive and always look at the next opportunity that comes and take that with all you can? I mean, a lot of people wouldn't have begrudged you if after not getting A-League trial or making it through as a professional that way in Italy as well, you might come back and just settle down in an NPL team. But as soon as you came back, you were straight at that high level again, making team of the years, making grand finals. How have you found it to be so positive after some setbacks in your career?
It's the game. The way I found it, the game is full of opinions. So one coach might not like you, and that doesn't mean if everyone got told that they weren't good enough, and you just what you do, just quit and go home. You know what I mean? That I didn't see it that way. I saw it as, all right, this coach doesn't like me, on to the next one. Unfortunately, a few coaches had the same opinion on me, but maybe they're maybe they're all wrong. I don't know, but nah, you know what I mean. And you get told we like you, want to sign you, we don't have the budget. We need to get rid of this player. We have too many players. You know, and there's always something. So you just got to stay positive. I'm a positive person, so I see the glass half full. I just keep going. For any young players as well, I think it should be the same. Yeah, you should be looking to do the same thing.
Yeah, and as you said before, the level in NPL SA has been so good since you've come back. Where do you think the top teams in SA would fare in the NPL New South Wales ladder? Where would you see, I guess, your current Adelaide City team in the current New South Wales?
I've spoken about this to a few people. I think like us, Adelaide City, maybe Metro, even if we got put into the New South Wales there's 16 teams, so 14 divisions in Sydney. So, and they're all of 12. So my second year, it went from 4 to 3. So everyone from 4 made a team, a league of 16 in 3, and then 8 went up to 2, and then 4 went from 2 to 1. So then all. So I don't think it's evenly balanced. That first year when they made the 16 teams, the teams that went up. Like our team now compared to some of those teams, I think for sure. Like if we got put into NPL 2 in Sydney, I think we'd be the best team. So going up into that first division in Sydney, I really think we'd compete. I'm not saying we'd win the whole thing. It'd be a little bit of getting used to, but I really think we'd compete.
Yeah, there's a lot of games there as well, which is something I'm sure you would have enjoyed playing over there. Was it, I think, 30 game seasons in the league? Of course, there wasn't finals for a bit too, but for a young player, getting that many games under your belt at such a young age as well is something great to see. And I'll go to my last question, the one I said to all the people that we have on the pod. The best player you've played with and the best players you've played against. It can be multiple.
Best player I played with. We had a Japanese player, Marconi, named Hiroki Yama. He went and he ended up signing for Perth Glory for 6 months. He was a freak. He was very good. But then we had, I got his shirt hanging up. Jimmy Hilton. He plays for Auckland. He just won the league with Auckland. So he was our goalkeeper at Marconi. I'll give him a little plug. He'd be up there. I'll have to throw in James Tomakovsky. We butt heads a little bit. He was a very good player. And then I've played with a few good players. It's too hard to just pick just one. I know Booker will get upset if I don't pick him.
I was wondering if you'd mention him.
Yeah, I told him a long time ago when growing up. When I did fall in love with the game, I always used to go watch NPL games with my dad, and so for me, I used to see, instead of watching the A-League, I would watch the A-League, but because I'd see the NPL close, like and live,
up close,
you start falling in love with the local players. And Booker was always one when I was younger that I really liked. So yeah, he would like to hear it, and he would get a big head. But it's been a privilege to play with him at the moment. I just need him to retire so I can win number 10 next season.
Yeah, good luck.
They'll get him to wear it. They'll get him to wear it, and if it's a coach like Franco Parisi.
Have you seen that? They were there when they do the team sheet. They put the starting 11 coach number 10, Franco Parisi. When I went to RP, I asked for number 10, and they said, no, it's retired. And I'm thinking, what is it, Roma? Retired 10 for Totti. No, they're for the coach. So, but he was a gun. To be fair, you know what? And then your last question: who's the best player you played against? Him, Franco Parisi was very good when he played at RP. I think I got him right at the end of his career, but he was unbelievable.
That's all from me.
No, all good. David, for you.
Okay, well, let me start off with an apology, because I remember when you scored a goal in a game I was commentating on. As you received the ball, I called you, Angelo, and I wanted the earth to swallow me up. But I quickly changed and said, no, it's Dom, before you hit the ball sweetly with your left foot to the far post. I can't remember who the game is against, but I apologise for that. But you're not alone. I've called Josh Morey Damien several times as well. We were just talking off air about how... Actually, I didn't even know who your dad was, because I used to work with your mother. So your mum, a quick hello to her, Helen Costanzo, because she worked at the Royal Adelaide Hospital with me. She was working in renal, and I was working in sort of an IT role, looking after cancer services primarily. But she was a lovely lady. So please pass on my best wishes to her when you see her next. I understand she's interested.
She's watching, so we can say hello to her now.
Hello, Helen. How are you, pal? I wanted to ask you a little bit about your acting, because I didn't know that about you until you mentioned it at the start. So was that just something you did as a kid and now don't do at all? Have you any ambition to go back into something like that? You know, I mean, football is a career that only lasts a short time, especially at this level. But in the future, is that something you would go back to?
I was joking around with my girlfriend about that a little bit, but I don't know. I don't know how you'd be. I don't know how you'd get into it now. So maybe that ship sailed. But I'll say a story. The other day, we had a box of old photos, and a photo come up with me and a guy at one of Dad's games when I was younger. So obviously I didn't care about the game. I took a photo with this guy, and we had just watched the movie Inside Man with Denzel Washington. I don't know if anyone's seen it.
Yeah, no, the movie, yes.
Okay, so in the photo with me was Clive Owen.
Oh, yes.
really?
My girlfriend said, "Oh, we just watched that movie and he was in it." And I said, yeah, that's Clive Owen. So I was actually meant to be in the movie with him. They filmed the movie in Adelaide or in Australia. So the rehearsal was in Adelaide, and they said, this is what Mum told me, I don't remember, but she said, all he's got to do is come. Everyone likes him. They see the resemblance between him and Clive Owen. Bring him. Tell him not to muck around and just listen to what everyone said, and he's going to get the role. Before we leave, my auntie rocks up with my cousin. My mum's like, don't bring him over, because then he won't want to go to the audition and he wants to muck around. All good. I'll be all right. I get to the audition. They start talking to me. Apparently, the first thing I said was, "How long is this going to take? Can we hurry it up? I got to go home and play with my cousin." So they put a.
Oh no!
You still there? Yeah, cut out for a second.
Yeah.
They put a line through my name, and that was it.
Oh.
I better stick to soccer then. So then when we seen him at the game, my mum goes, he was meant to be. Sit down and stop calling me. He was meant to be in a movie. Sorry, someone kept calling my phone. I had to hang up. He goes, he was meant to be your son in this movie, and he goes, "Oh my God, he looks like me." So that was that.
That's a
I wish I could go back. Now I wish I could go back to it, but I don't think anyone would be having me. I don't think I'm that cute anymore. So
I think acting's one of those things that you can always go back to. I did a little bit of acting when I was a teenager, and I wouldn't go back to it now. It's just not my thing anymore. But I think you can always. It's one of those professions or hobbies. You could probably go back to at some stage. Just to go back to your NPL time in New South Wales, we talked a little bit about the opponents you played against and the teams you played against. I just wondered about the grounds there. We have a lot of synthetic pitches here. I've got no idea what the ratio of synthetic pitches they have over New South Wales is, or what the grounds are like. The stadiums, do they have grounds that are sort of, and much better? How do the grounds in New South Wales compare to the grounds we've got here? Both the pitches and the stands and the crowd numbers and so on.
Well, I think so when I was at Marconi, we had the stadium, Marconi Stadium, and that was, for me, that should be what A-League clubs should be looking to have. Because we obviously wouldn't fill it out. Back in the NSL when Dad played there, they reckon it used to be packed. So that was perfect. So that, for me, I think most clubs will say that that's the best stadium in Sydney. It'd be even in Australia, it'd be up there. So that for me was the best. But then you had Wollongong played at Wynn Stadium where they play the rugby league. That was similar, little small stadium with a grandstand. So that was nice, and the grass was perfect. But then you have Sydney United where they had the grandstand, but they've converted to artificial grass. So I think the ratio between grass and artificial will probably be 50-50 now, just because these clubs over there have so many juniors, and just trying to maintain the grass is just crazy. So it's just easier for I know for the senior team, you'd rather play on normal grass, but just for the club as a whole, I think you just need it. If you can't maintain it all year round, you just need that artificial.
Yeah. Final question was just about this weekend, and I don't know if you'll be able to comment much on this, but it's 80 years of Adelaide City with the theme. I'd like to see that. 80 years. They're having a gala on Saturday, 6th of June at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. Are you able to tell us much about that? I presume you're going. Are you able to tell us much about that, or is that just something you're just going to turn up to and look great at?
I didn't. This is the first time I'm hearing about it. What did you say? It was a gala?
Yeah, the gala for Adelaide City.
No, I'm joking. Yeah. But I'm going. No, it's massive. I was with my dad, and they were trying to organize who's sitting on what table, and it got to like table 40, and I'm thinking, wow, how many people are going to be here? So it's going to be a massive night. I think there's obviously a few free tickets handed out to ex-players and championship winning teams, and then people have just, I think, were able just to buy tickets too. So I think I think 18 reserves, first team, women's. So everyone from the current club is going to be there, and a lot of ex-players and sponsors. It's going to be huge. I couldn't tell you how many people, but I know it's going to be a lot. But yeah, we'll be there. So lucky we're playing Friday night, so we can reset for a big night.
That was all mine, Seb. But I do have.
Is this the?
I do have a quick.
David Grant, Prince Production.
Not the
All right,
smoothest,
Dom,
but
now I
we
know
can
you-
do it.
I thought you kicked me out for a second. I seen something pop up on the screen. All good.
We'll kick you out soon enough. Don't worry about that. There's only
All
another
good.
sort of 5 minutes of this agony left for you. This is a section we have at the end where I do a quick fire quiz. I just got 10 questions. I'm going to fire at you. You've got to answer them as quickly as you can. There's no right or wrong. It's just about thinking on your feet kind of thing. Seb will do a little countdown, and then we've got 60 seconds to get through these 10.
Perfect. Ready?
Yeah.
All right.
You ready, Dom?
3, 2, 1.
Dom Costanzo, what's your favourite ground in New South Wales that you've played at?
Apart from Marconi, Wynn Stadium, Wollongong.
Stadium. Favourite ground in South Australia to play at?
Park, at least open. We'll call
Good
it.
man, well done. Which teammate is the most likely to dob you in for something?
Apart from the coach's son, George, probably Buko. Probably Buko.
Which teammate is the most likely to still be on the dance floor at 5 a.m?
Nick Franchisi.
Which teammate is the least likely to lend you cash? Which teammate is the most likely to ask you for cash?
I don't know. Assad.
And you've just got one more to come. Which teammate spends the most time in front of the mirror?
Buko.
Yes, I think that's
I was going to say surely Buko.
That's it.
There you go. I didn't keep a track of how many we got through, but you did very well there.
Did I get them all right?
Well, I don't think there is any right or wrong. I mean, who's
I'm
most likely to
joking.
still be on the dance floor at 5 a.m? I mean, I don't know the answer to that. So whatever you said, I can't remember who you said, but I'm sure it's correct.
That was Francesi, I think. Also, just quickly, speaking of actors, I found there is a new, or not a new, but the highest rated Actors Inc. in Adelaide for you, Dom. If you do decide to get back into it, there's a place called Actors Inc. that
Been there, done that. That's where I started off.
there you go. So
maybe
they're still going, so you got a
back.
chance, mate.
Take me back. I'll see. I'll give him a call.
Why not? What have you got to lose?
I'll get my agent a call. My acting agent.
You got nothing to lose. Go for it.
Give it a go.
No, thank you for that, David. Dom, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure. Good luck for this Friday against Sturt. And then, once again, on behalf of all of us, thanks for coming on the show and taking a bit out of your day to chat with us. It was a good chat.
All good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
All right. See you later. Ciao.
No, good fun chat there. Very enjoyable. We'll go on to the week that was for our results. Starting in the State League 2 in the north, Port Adelaide defeating Elizabeth Grove 1-0. Gula and Elizabeth Downs playing out a 2-2 draw. Barossa United losing 4-1 to Pontian Eagles. Modbury Vista and Northern Demons playing out a 4-3. And Anglevale losing 2-0 to Salisbury Inter. In the south, Western Strikers 4-2 over Seaford Rangers. Plimpton Bulldogs losing 6-0 to Adelaide University. Vipers with a 1-0 win over Garn United and Adelaide Hills Hawks. 3-1 losers to Adelaide Titans. And then the one we'll start on is Noarlunga United 1-0 win against Mount Barker. But our boy got a start for once in this first team.
Yeah.
And he predicted his own team to lose, so he wasn't wrong at least. Is that insider trading, I think?
At that stage.
True, but is that not insider trading
true.
at this point? No, how was
I
it?
don't know,
Alicia?
but Yeah, we'll start with that. I guess I don't have the days that it's been since I've had a senior start like I did when I had my first game in a while. But the last game I did play was my birthday in 2024 against Pirates. But yeah, it was a bit of a late call up. There was some confusion with the suspended player or not. He was cleared to play, and the coach still said, "I'm stuck with my decision. We're going to still start you. You've been performing the last couple of weeks really well and off the bench as well." So yeah. Wet day, very bubbly pitch, pretty uneven as well. Even wearing the medals like I usually do on a wet game, it was very painful running experience when it was that uneven. But it was I would say a pretty even game. I mean, I think the last couple of games I've been involved in have been a bit closer, but the minutes that I've been on the pitch, and it hasn't been just conceding all the time. And actually, throughout the season, there's probably not many halves where we went in 0-0 or at least conceding none. So I think that was a positive. We finally changed a bit of the system of the formation and weren't getting overrun so much in the midfield. Unfortunately, I didn't really get much attacking moves to contribute, but I think we defended well as a team, and it was just unlucky with a late cross. I think it was on dribble. I think it was wrong. It was like this. I think it was 77th or 78th minute when we conceded the goal, and it was just a far post cross where someone lost their runner and he tapped it in. But I think we definitely held our own in that game, and no longer probably were expected to come up against an easier opponent, but we gave them enough trouble and forced them into a long ball game. And even at that, which is probably something they'd expect to be good at, they weren't as successful. And I think it was a positive day as well. We had a new captain for the day as well, Oscar Knight, and a new goalkeeper as well as our regular first team keeper got an injury last week. So it was a good day for the club. I think it was a debut off the bench as well for a youngster that I think might have played juniors at the club as well. His brother plays juniors at the club. So you don't really see a lot of them come through the system. So it's good to see that we had one of them. But unfortunately, the streak without a win still goes on.
Yeah, well, let's see if you start on Sunday in the charity match. It would be funny if you didn't, to be fair. Mark or David, any others you want to touch on?
Yeah, look, I'll jump in on the South to start with. Probably a surprise win with Western Strikers beating Seaford, who were sitting top before this match going into it. And Western Strikers coming away with a 4-2 win. And Seaford scoring both their goals very, very late, 87th and 95th, to make it look somewhat respectable, to be honest, after going down 4-0. So a bit of a surprise result there for us all to see that one. Titans back to their winning ways against Adelaide Hills Hawks with a 3-1 win. Plimpton getting hammered by a very inconsistent Adelaide Uni, to be honest. Orphan scoring a hat-trick in that game. And then Vipers getting a 1-0 win over Garn as well, which has put them back up to top spot with Seaford's loss. So Garn were doing quite well, but they've lost their last two now, so a bit of a form slump there for those guys. And I can continue on the north if you like. Pontians winning again on the weekend. They've now won nine games and only drawn one. They haven't lost yet, which is obviously, as I mentioned earlier, which is a fantastic start for them, which is obviously now kicking over into the second half of the season. Northern Demons, they got beaten 4-3 in the end by Vista. They had a penalty saved or a missed penalty in the second half and one cleared off the line, which would have certainly could have equalised or at least even possibly a winner in the end. But Vista, a big turnaround since putting Jason Trimboli back in charge there after the short stint of Nigel Gill. Then we Salisbury into winning against Anglevale. Anglevale doing quite well considering new to the league, along with Elizabeth Downs new to the league, both sitting mid-table above the likes of established clubs in, well, when I say established, Elizabeth Grove only second, third year maybe, but again above a team like Gawler and Port Adelaide, who, as Alessio mentioned, got their first win in a while on the weekend. So all to play for there as well. Like, I mean, your finals, you've got your top three in that league there, sort of 28 to 21 points. And then it's a bit of a gap between Vista and Elizabeth Downs, but still a bit to play for there for finals positionings. And I said only halfway through the season. So I think the South League's probably a little bit tighter towards the top end of the table, 22 points for the top side, but going down to 6th or even 7th position is 15 points, only 5 points behind. So 7 points behind, sorry. So it's still relatively tight all the way through there, and even the top 4, 18 points for Titans in 4th. So a little bit tighter in the south side.
David, anything to add?
I just want to add quickly, just to talk a little bit about the Hawks game against Titans. Quite a close game by all accounts until the last 10 minutes. Titans were 1-0 up in the 46th minute, but 2 late goals from Takai, and I hope I pronounced this correctly, Tsialafos, I hope I've got that correct, put Titans into a 3-0 lead. Before, in the 93rd minute, the Hawks were awarded a... wow.
I'm getting excited. I saw this. I got excited.
Before the Hawks were awarded a penalty in the 93rd minute, and up-stepped from way back in his own goal line, the Hawks goalkeeper Connor Hudson, to convert that in the 93rd minute. As I understand it, that's Connor's first goal for the Hawks, and he's been there since about 1972. No, he's been there for hundreds of games, so well done to Connor. And it's funny because I did watch a little bit of the footage, and all I could hear was his mum going, "Yeah, Connor! Go, Connor!" So I think the family were probably quite proud of him, so well done, Connor. I just wanted to mention that there. Sorry.
Yes, no, that's brilliant. I
wish we had the video. I was expecting a bicycle kick or something.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like a header from a corner, not a penalty. A penalty takes away from it.
Yeah, Dribble now has a little P for penalties.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I saw it was that. But yeah, I thought it was a late one.
You should have just made it up, David. You said, yeah, ball came and he went for the bicycle kick, found it top bins, and then he ran off in celebration.
Picked it up in his own penalty box and just went on this mazy run, beating 10 outfield players before scoring at the end. Excuse me.
We'll go on to the WSL. Cove having a big win, 1-0 over Adelaide Jaguars. Adelaide City, 4-0 over Mulberry Jets. Western Strikers, 1-0 over South Adelaide. And Sturt Lions and Elizabeth Grove playing out a 2-2 draw, David, which does put Adelaide City back at the top of the WSL on goal difference. But already, as early news, their game this Friday has been postponed due to pitch condition, I believe. So they will have to wait to be able to play that game against, I can't remember now. I have to find
South
it.
Adelaide.
No, I think it's Western Strikers. Western
Western
Strikers.
Striker. Yeah.
So that game will be...
Sorry.
No, you go.
No, keep going. Keep doing well.
No, I've lost my train of thought. You go.
What was my train of thought? Yeah, no, Western Strikers ground is supposedly underwater since yesterday. We've had a lot of rain here in Adelaide yesterday and today, so that game was actually called off as early as yesterday. But yeah, look, Sturt Lions, a bit of a slip up for them against Elizabeth Grove. And it makes this league interesting again. I think there was a point about maybe 3 or 4 rounds ago where City and Sturt played each other, and it was the proverbial 6-pointer, wasn't it? It was the game that if Sturt won, they would have a 6-point lead in City.
And Adelaide Jaguars were sort of in the mix as well, just about 3 points behind or 4 points behind, but they've fallen back since.
It was a 3-horse race at the time, but that game, had Sturt won it, it would have created a 6-point gap between themselves at the top and Adelaide City, and you then would think, well, it's, I don't think anyone at Adelaide City considered it a game that was going to be a title decider, but it certainly seemed that way, I think, to the rest of us. But City won that game, pulled it back to 3 points, and since then, Sturt have dropped additional points in this 2-2 draw with Grove. So now City sit top after their 4-0 win. Millie Scott back with 2 goals in that game. City sit top after their 4-0 win against Mulberry Jets. But level on points with Sturt. But the goal difference is what separates them right now. Adelaide City have a goal difference of plus 22. Sturt with a goal difference of plus 17. And remember, they play each other one more time in the home and away season. So that's made it a little bit more exciting, I think, for us. Remember, top team goes up, runner-up goes into a playoff, which would be interesting if I think currently Metro Stars are probably the team that's in second bottom of the WNPL. So that would be interesting to see how those. That would be. That's a game I think that is really up in the air. We've talked along over the years. I think. About these playoffs between WSL and WNPL, and it always seems to be in the WNPL side, or maybe it's even has always been the WSL side that has progressed, But I think this one's a lot closer. I think your Sturts and your Adelaide Cities are probably a lot closer matched to these sides at the bottom of the WNPL. I digress.
Well, we
Back to
saw. Sorry to just interrupt. We saw in the cup when Sturt played West Adelaide, it was 6-3. Although Sturt not winning, they scored 3 goals against West Adelaide, which there can't be many clubs that have done that in the past 2 years, scoring more than 1 goal against West Adelaide. So even that in itself is an achievement.
Yeah, absolutely, just to move a bit further down the table, Cove, I think Chantel Ryder was the goal scorer in that one, a 1-0 win for them against Jaguars. So Jaguars are still third, as they have been for much of this season so far, but there's now a 10-point gap between them and starting second, and they have got a game in hand right enough. They've played 10, but the teams above have only played 11. But even if they win that, there's still a 7-point gap, potentially between second and third. So I think now with that loss that Jaguars suffered, I think they might be out the race. I think it's now no longer a 3-horse race, and it is now a 2-horse race. That's not to say that these clubs in 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, and 8th, and so on, can have a say in the outcome, because each of these clubs, I think, on their day in this league, has the potential to upset teams at the top, the Cities and the Sturts, who are now just breaking away a little bit. So Cove had their 1-0 win. Western Strikers, a 1-0 win over South Adelaide, and I think that covers all of the games off. The Western Strikers goal scored in the first minute of the play, Lana Jovanovic scoring in that game, but it was the only goal of the game scored in the first minute.
Perfect. Well wrapped up, David. On to the State League 1 for round 12. Adelaide Olympic with a huge win over Fulham United 4-0. South Adelaide and Eastern at the bottom of the table playing at a 1-1 draw. Cobras defeated 3-2 by Adelaide Atletico. Cumberland, an interesting one I think we'll talk about, 4-0 up against, or 3-0 up. It was something like that. Salisbury making a bunch of changes before halftime and nearly completing a comeback. Adelaide Croatia Raiders 3-1 over Modbury Jets, another one near the top of the table. And Cove defeated by Adelaide Blue Eagles 3-1. Mark, where do you want to start?
I'll start with South Adelaide because I tend to cover their games most weeks. But to be honest, a 1-1 draw really didn't help. I mean, they scored both goals, but it didn't help them in the end because one of them was in their own goal. So Parker scoring an own goal, unfortunately, in the 71st minute after Papa Giorgio, young Lucas, had scored the opener. But it certainly didn't help Eastern that point. But it probably helped South more than what it does Eastern, considering both are right near the bottom of the table. I mean, with South Adelaide, they now go to 11 points, Eastern on 8. But at least with South Adelaide, they're a point closer to Adelaide Cobras, who are now sitting in ninth place after, I think it's their 8th loss in a row. So the next game that I'd probably look at. So South and Eastern, they're fighting relegation. South's probably in the better position now. They've had some positive results. The other game for me was the Cove and Blue Eagles game. Piqued my interest. Blue Eagles coming away with a 3-1 win. Cove normally very strong at home, but on this day, Blue Eagles capitalised on, I'd say, a couple of goalkeeping errors that led towards goals, but 3-0 by the 20th minute mark. So you're always fighting an uphill battle from there, unfortunately, for Cove. But Blue Eagles certainly weren't happy with the way Cove played the game from all accounts. Cooksley, Cacciavellani and Dodero scoring for Blue Eagles. Carmichael getting a 65th minute consolation for Cove in the end. And I'll let the other guys talk about the other games.
I was just going to say, you cut the video just there after a big goalkeeper howler there, Seb. But
I'll let it go back.
Because that's what they need to see.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
I'll go to the Croatia versus Modbury Jets game while you get those highlights up. And another one that was one of the most hotly tipped games. I mean, both teams at the top of the table looking to pit one another to get some distance at the top there as well. And by all means, it was a great start from Croatia at home. They have so many attacking talents throughout the park that you just don't know where it's going to come from This time it was captain Yuto Okada, who got them underway. Seemed like a very, very physical game. I was watching the highlights back, and there was a decent crowd there as well, it seemed. This young Croatia Raiders team seemed to have a lot of players come through the youth of their juniors and 18s and reserves. So it's good to see a lot of them playing in the first team and doing so well. Side note on that number 9 as well, where it was so physical, his shirt was ripped halfway open. We've seen this goal from Caleb Evans as well, but it seemed like, this goal probably would have had things in the last 10, 15 minutes a bit closer than probably would have liked Raiders, and going by this last goal from Jai King, which I think is just fantastic, with all the pressure and the missed calls and the fouls that could have happened. I think this is a red card one just later on. But obviously, that was that close that they couldn't deal with getting a third goal, a third chance in on goal. But this last guy, I just love the work from all the Raiders players involved to keep this alive and just to play on under the circumstances. And you could hear the crowd after that one was really jubilant and a massive win for them. Of course, I think seeing Hamish McCabe was back for this game as well, so it looks like he's back in the lineup, and hopefully that will get them firing. They've obviously got the game in hand, even though they are top of the league against the high-flying Blue Eagles team, so that'll be interesting to see. I'll leave the Cumberland Salisbury one to you. I'll go to Atletico Cobras. Obviously, this was the first game without head coach Tony Gallinopoulos. Oh no, he might have still been in charge. It looks like on dribble he was.
I think so.
Looks like on dribble he was still in charge for this game, but they got off to a good start at home against Adelaide Atletico, a team, of course. This is the
Wrong one.
Oh, that's right. I'll keep talking about it. But yeah, they got off to a good start. Jack Dawson getting a goal, and he actually had a hand to play in their last goal as well. But they looked like they were starting on the right foot. First half going 1-0 up. They held that lead until the last 20 minutes as well. They had their club legend Andreas Panayi come on later on as well to hopefully get a further lead and maybe finally take some points. But the comeback from Adelaide Atletico and some of these late goals as well were just fantastic. I mean, the strikes were, I think, a first-time volley on one of these other ones. This all came all the way from the goalkeeper up the field, a simple Route 1 football. But for Adelaide Atletico, I mean, I think most of us probably had a mid-table. That was their own goal, actually. But to see them equal top with Modbury is crazy to see.
I was just going to say, although this has a bad look on me for not checking the ladder, it is insane that, between first and seventh, it is a 3-point gap.
Yeah. And Tony was in charge for this game. He was released, I think, on the Sunday. I think the post came out 3 days ago, so it would have been either Sunday or Monday.
But, for Andy Shaw and his Atletico team, they seem to just be surprising all of us, and that's what you get from a team that has a fair few youngsters and players looking to make a mark at this level. They've really pulled it off so far this season. And I'll let David talk about Olympic and Fulham, and Seb talk about Cumberland Salisbury.
David, then.
Well, I think I've looked at Cumberland, to be honest. The Cumberland game.
You can talk about that then.
I'll just quickly touch on both. The Cumberland game obviously finished 4-3. Cumberland were actually 4-0 up in this match with goals from Tui, Min and Shearer. Tui's first one and Min and Shearer scored before half-time. Tui's second goal coming in the 47th minute. Matt Taylor popped up 49th minute to pull one back for Salisbury, making it 4-1. And then Matthew Majetic scored in the 64th minute to make it 4-2. And then Matt Taylor scored in the 80th minute to make it 4-3. But unfortunately, they couldn't find the additional goal to make it a 4-4 draw. So Salisbury United, I would imagine, are probably thinking that was close, but no cigar, as they say. You touched on the fact that there are 3 points separating Modbury Jets in top and Cove in seventh, didn't you, Seb? And that's extraordinary, isn't it, when you think about it? What was the other game? Fulham, and we were talking about Fulham.
Olympic.
Olympic, yes. This was a game I was actually thinking about going on to cover. I think it was on Friday night.
It was.
I haven't been that well. I've been a bit. I've had a night or two off this show, and I've had a couple of days off work. I haven't been that well, so I decided to stay in and rest myself. But yeah, Olympic winning this one 4-0. Ricardo da Silva scoring in the 43rd minute. Jordan Pudler with one in the 48th minute. Rasko Luic in the 59th minute. And then Ali Aquil scoring in the 75th minute. So they didn't get the ball rolling. Well, they got the ball rolling in the first minute, didn't they? Literally, but figuratively, the ball didn't get rolling until the sort of second half. But yeah, a 4-0 win for Olympic, which they would have taken heart from, I suppose, because they were coming off the back of a 3-1 loss to Croatia Raiders the week before. But it is such a tight and unpredictable, or difficult to predict, competition. The informed side right now, Blue Eagles, though, they've won 5 in the trot after, if you guys remember, they didn't win any of their opening 4. Then they had a bit of disruption. They had some cancelled games. They still have a game in hand and everyone as well. So they didn't win any of their opening 4, and they've won 5 in the trot. I think there's been a couple of draws in between, but the informed side right now, Adelaide Blue Eagles, and Jets, maybe a little bit of out form, top of the table, but lost their last 2 in a row.
Yeah, just insane at the moment in State League One. Certainly one to keep an eye out for. And hopefully when we do get towards that last round or two, we get to go on a couple of these games, because there's plenty of jeopardy, I think, in them. Would be good to see, and just the sort of drama, I think, would be good as well, which maybe we've been deprived from in recent years in the NPL, but maybe, last year with that late one in Metro and Para Hills. We'll go on to the WNPL. Campbelltown City defeated 2-0 by Salisbury Inter. Adelaide Comets 3-0 against Adelaide Uni. Metro Stars 5-1 from West Adelaide after Metro Stars did go 1-0 up in the first half. Modbury Vista with a big one at the bottom of the table, defeating Flinders United 2-1, and West Torrens Burkalla defeating Football SA, and Isabel Hodgson returning with her first goal back in Burkalla colours. David, where do you want to go?
Well, I might actually correct you on that, because Isabel Hodgson, I think it's her second goal back in West Torrens Burkalla.
My apologies.
I'm sure
she scored the week before.
My apologies.
Yeah, she scored in... I'm not having a go at you, mate. Sorry. Cough. But this time I put myself on mute. Izzy Hodgson is obviously back. She has come off the bench in her first 2 games and scored in the second one, which was a game I covered last week, and scored again this week. Just a 1-0 win against Football NTC, or Football South Australia we call them now, in our goal coming in the 68th minute down there at Jack Smith Park. West Adelaide, as you mentioned, a 5-1 win for them over Metro Stars. Metro Stars still struggling a little bit to find form, but they're certainly not out of touch. There's a little bit of a gap now between them and second bottom, a 5-point gap between them and Flinders United, who sit second bottom. Flinders United beaten by Modbury Vista, who now have, 2 WNPL wins in their history. So good news for them. It does take them up to 7th. They are above Adelaide Uni on goal difference. They've actually both got -9, but I think Modbury Vista have scored more. They've scored 6.
Yeah, they've scored one more.
Yeah, they've scored one more. So Modbury Vista are 7th ahead of Adelaide Uni, just because they've scored one more goal in the league. So it's tight there. But the reality is that it's looking very difficult now for Flinders United. They only have that one draw. Things are looking a little bit bleak for them, and the fortunes of the team unfortunately haven't changed since they parted ways with their previous coach, Tom Monsignor, which I don't know if Flinders United have actually announced yet. Officially, have they? I haven't seen it anywhere.
They announced the new coach.
They announced the new coach, but they didn't announce the old one was going. So maybe he's still there. Who knows? So that covers off the sort of bottom half of the table. Campbelltown 2-0 loss. Do you want me to keep going, Seb? Sorry, I don't mean to hog it. Yeah, okay. Claudia Hewitt double for Salisbury Inter when they played Campbelltown in their match. Salisbury Inter's win keeps them up in the top 3. They're sitting behind West Torrens Burkalla on 21 points. West Torrens Burkalla on 22. Who does that leave? Is it Comets and Adelaide Uni? I think that leaves the Comets and Adelaide Uni game. Hopefully I haven't missed anyone. Guess who scored for Comets in this game in the 4th minute?
Oh, can I have a guess? Can I have a guess?
Have a go.
Was it Chrissy Panagaris by any chance?
Well done. Well done, yes. Chrissy Panagaris. As sure as the sun will come up tomorrow morning, Chrissy Panagaris scores in the WNPL in the 4th minute. Emily Hazelwood got the second in the 21st minute, and Yuka Sasaki scored in the 79th minute to make it a fairly comprehensive win for Adelaide Comets in the end. The top 5, of course, play finals. Those top 5 currently are West Adelaide, West Torrens-Burculla, Salisbury Inter, Adelaide Comets, and Football SA. Campbelltown are sniffing around though. They're in 6th. They're 3 points adrift, and they'll be hoping to try and get the additional points they require to get into the 5th spot for finals when it comes round. There are some rumours about some A-League players coming into the WNPL, but they're only rumours at this stage, so I daren't speak out loud, daren't I?
Well, no, not yet. I was just going to say, speaking of A-League players, of course, in that uni game, Sarah Morgan and Claudia Jenkins at Adelaide Uni as well. Sarah Morgan, unfortunately for her, almost giving away that first goal, and then in the end getting sent off. And apparently it was 2 yellow cards, both for dissent, is what I heard. So I'm not sure what was said, but yeah, not the greatest of starting debuts, or at least for this season. Of course, she was with them last year, but not best of returns for Sarah Morgan in the WNPL. And of course, we'll be missing. I'm actually not sure. No, they're not in the cup. My bad. Ignore me. We'll go on to the men's NPL. West Torrens-Burculla 4-1 winners over Adelaide Comets. Para Hills Knights defeated 5-1 by Croydon FC. Sturt Lions with a comeback 2-1 over FK Beograd. Adelaide United played a football match against Playford. Metro Stars 4-0 against Campbelltown City. And then in the derby, Adelaide City defeating West Adelaide 2-1. And David, we might as well start with the derby. If you're not prepared, I'll go to Mark.
No, you're all right. This is the point in the show where you tell me you were at 2 games this weekend, weren't you, David? And I go, was I? but this week I do remember that I was at 2. So yes, the derby you want me to start with. This was the West Adelaide versus Adelaide City derby, as opposed to the Sturt versus Beograd derby. This was treated as the match of the round. So we had the luxury of a full production there. So we had 2 camera operators, a producer who actually wasn't at the ground; he was doing it remotely, and I was on with Simon Jimenez. Unfortunately, Yuki Kitano's goal came so early on, I barely had time to finish my, I think I said finish my latte before we'd even started. I was trying to down a coffee, but Yuki Kitano's goal came in the, I think, 40-second second.
Yes.
That's right, isn't it? This doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
His goal came in the 42nd of the match, and then Milan Ivanic jumped up in the air. Maxim Ivanic, should I say, jumped up in the air to get put a free header from a Riley Stam cross past John Hall in the 51st minute. Stam and Ivanic just didn't click in the same way that they did last week. I'd covered their game at Playford, and the 2 of them were just absolutely on fire, no stopping them. It just didn't happen for them this week. And then Oliver Weston at the very end there, as you saw there, scored his goal. And was absolutely over the moon with it. Can't remember the minute that goal came in, 57th minute. So there was still a fair way to go. Interestingly enough, you know how you sometimes make your way into the club rooms after a game in the hope that both teams don't hate you for anything you've said in the course of commentary. Anyway, I was speaking to Neil McGahey. He came over and he said to me, what did I think? And I thought, I was honest. I said, and I made the mistake of saying this in front of the West Adelaide players, I felt that it was a very even match. I didn't feel that one side was particularly better than the other, but I felt that Adelaide City just took their chances when they had them. West Adelaide hit the post twice. I think James Owenvalder hit the post. I think Riley Stam hit the post. And Maxine Ivanic also hit the bar. Had any of those or a couple of those gone in, obviously it would have been a different story. And at that point in the game, when they had those chances, from memory, it would have put West into not just level the score, but into a lead. So for me, I was just speaking honestly. I felt that was the only difference between the sides. I thought they were very evenly matched. I thought West Adelaide just maybe a bit guilty of not putting their chances away, but the looks I got back from the West Adelaide players, as I said, that occasioned me to leave that table and make my way to eat my dinner elsewhere in the club rooms at the back somewhere.
On to your Sturton Beergrad game as well.
Yes,
you did do that one, right?
I did. I had a terrible time with the weather there. So Thanasi Lessie, Daniel Atkinson scored in the 46 minutes, so just right on half time, opened the scoring for FK Beergrad. The shot, I felt he'd maybe been fouled on the way through, but it didn't matter anyway. Advantage played, goal scored, so 1-0 for FK Beergrad. Then Thanasis Lessie turned Lorenzo Baselli inside out. Wait to see this. I mean, you've got to be a good player. Look, there's Baselli hanging on for dear life as the ball makes its way in towards the penalty here. Look at this. Where are you now, Lorenzo?
Wow.
And anyway, a little clip, and Leslie releases the shot into the far post, and that levelled the scores. And then Alex Sortini scored at the very last, almost pretty much the last kick of the game. But he had the space. They'd left him unmarked. The footage is just playing now, but that's from memory. So Sortini scoring at the very last kick of the game. I had a terrible time with the weather, but this was Saturday where we had this 5-minute downpour, but it was absolutely torrential. Ball comes in. Look at that. Sortini unmarked in the middle. They'll be disappointed, FK Beergrad. They've got a very good defence. I think from memory of my notes, they've got the third best defence in the NPL up until this game anyway. So they're just conceding, few goals, but they'll be disappointed with themselves, I think, in conceding that one, and heartbreak for them. But it's the statistic that counts is how many times you put it into the net, and obviously Sturt did it more than Beergrad and got the win. So entertaining game, but the weather, honestly, for that 10 minutes, you guys would have had it at your games as well. Absolutely horrendous. It poured down, and my camera operator up the top, I don't know how he managed to keep everything dry through that. It was torrential. But that's it. That's my 2 games.
Yeah, I was going to say on that Sturt game as well, there's actually some, talk about stats. I don't think Beergrad have beaten Sturt in a long time for some reason. I think obviously they beat him in the reverse round at the start of this season. The last time they were both in the NPL, I think they had each other on the last game of the season, and Sturt stopped them making finals on the last day twice. Obviously Sturt beat him in that grand final in the State League. There's some weird stats between those two, especially. Not a rivalry that you would expect, but seems like it.
I actually have a note on that because I did it in my pre-game notes. The last home wins, the last time Sturt won at home was 13th of August 2022. Akiri Kobayashi scored the only goal in that game, a 1-0 win. But then I had in round 11 in 2023, FK Beergrad beat Sturt. Josh Morris scored. And in round 22, FK Beergrad beat Sturt again, 3-1. Christian Satira, Josh Morey and Coca Rock scored for FK Beergrad, and Rodriguez scored for Sturt. Yeah, so tends to be an FK Beergrad win in these games.
I'll go next, and I'll start with an apology to you, David. I'll never make fun of you ever again for having 0-0 after the past few weeks I've had to go through. And I'm also going to blame Playford because they've both been Playford games where they haven't neither scored nor conceded. Just another very average match, to be honest. Adelaide United probably the better of the 2 sides. The keepers having plenty of work to do. Osby maybe just having a bit more of the work out of the 2 keepers. Battistella very good. There were quite a few debutants as well. Riyad Rahidi had his starting debut. And they also brought on Declan Cooper Indambuki for it was his first ever first team squad, and he made his debut off the bench as well. Playford also brought on Mustafa Ibrahim, I think was his name from memory. He's about 15 or 16 years old. Again, his first ever first team squad, and he came on late. I think he also went to the emerging Socceroos Championships as well as part of one of those 2 under 15 or under 16 squad. But yeah, it's been I didn't commentate weekend previous, but it's been 2 Playford games in a row where 0-0. They haven't been the better of the 2 sides. Very minimal chances. It was an interesting thing, especially a Playford Ara team I get to see and watch quite often due to their proximity to me. But it's just been very different these past few weeks. And guess what? I'm back there again this weekend. So that's a message to Playford to just give me something to talk about and not make me go for another 90 minutes without having any goals. Or anything fun to talk about and having to talk to myself for a while.
So just the background to that is that I had 3 0-0 games and a 1-0 game all in the space of 4 weeks, and or thereabouts. and you mocked me, and now you've had 2 0-0s in a row.
Well, it wasn't only that. It was that I can't remember exactly how I mocked you, but I do remember saying I hadn't had a 0-0 for almost 2 years previous. And that was
Commentator's
definitely
curse, mate.
yeah, that was definitely something I said, and it's very much come back to bite me. And now with Playford for a 3rd week in a row this week against Adelaide Comets, so give me something, please. Alessio, Friday night at Burke's. Mark, allowed to stay home for once, not let out of the cage.
Yeah, I thought it was an interesting game. The first time I think I've ever actually commentated there. I mean, I think I commentated a cup game there for Eastern a couple of years ago, but I've never commentated a league game before. It was interesting. The first time I've seen Bacala this season. I thought Comets started on the better of the two sides. I think my co-commentator Theo would have been in agreement with that. Unfortunately, got the goal scorer wrong here. It was actually Harry Thomas who scored at the far post. But if you watch the highlights of this game, the shape of Comets was so good to see. I mean, it's a 4-4-2 defensively, and a lot of teams set up like that. But the way they moved and the gaps between each position was so tight, Bacala couldn't play. They tried to play their football and tried to spray it out to their wide players, and they just were overhitting it. Players were not getting in the game. Unfortunately, I was talking to Staff Galekis afterwards. He said there must be some hoodoo on Klaas and Thomas this season, because last year everything was falling for him. This year, I think he's got 1 league goal so far this season.
Yep.
He had plenty of chances in this game too, where he couldn't find the net. I think he was involved with a lot of them, which I'm sure his coach will be happy with. But the man of the moment was Abdullahi off the bench. We've seen him a couple of times fleetingly in the NPL with Modbury last year, in the State League 1 with Cumberland as well. And he's a very exciting player. Of course, has represented his country as well, Somalia. And he's not really got the starts or a lot of minutes so far this season for Bacala. In the Cup, he's got a bit more, but he just, was electric off the bench. Got that assist for the go-ahead goal. And then with a couple of minutes left, and where Comets were trying to push forward for a goal, and I think there was even some of the defenders being sent up to try and get flick-ons or something to hold it up there. He was just gambling on the loose touches at the back and scored 2 great goals to win the game and go 2 goals clear. I was talking to him after, and he's a very humble guy as well. I said, after that, your coach has got to put you in the lineup, and he said, that's all right. Even if he doesn't, I just got to know I got to do more the next game. I'm happy with my contribution. I hope there's more I can do. So I was, really, really surprising to see, such a humble player. And talking about their attackers, I mean, they got him coming from everywhere. Blackwood scored his 10th league goal in this game. But the coach has got a lot to choose from at the moment. He's keeping them all happy as well.
Absolutely. Huge for them. Mark, you can finish off by touching on the other games.
All right, Croydon Para Hills, as I mentioned earlier, the camera angle was crap, so I didn't tune into it too long because, as you can see here, it was not easy.
And you're saying you didn't just waltz down the road and attend either?
But again, it's not the cameraman's fault by any stretch of the imagination, but Croydon coming away with a 5-1 win with 5 different goal scorers. Cato getting on the score sheet, Trimboli, the Luca Trimboli, Oscar Slattery, Freddie Muller scoring his first goal, and Nathan Owen also scoring for Croydon, and Mayo scoring a late consolation for Para Hills. But I do want to say the Para Hills goal that they did score was fantastically well worked. We'll see it here at the end of it, but it was, really well worked goal for Para Hills. I mean, they just need a lot more of it, unfortunately, and tighten up a lot more at the back, clearly, considering they've conceded now, they've got a minus 45 goal difference, but they've conceded now
51 goals.
51 goals, only scored 6 so far. But like I said, the Para Hills goal was very well worked. It was actually direct from the kickoff. This is it here. But just some simple passes. I mean, Croydon would have not really pressured at this stage, knowing there wasn't long left. But I know Margush would have been very disappointed with the fact that he conceded. Like I said, very well worked goal. They're just not doing that enough this season. And then, so they went down 5-1. And then the other game, which was Metro Stars and Campbelltown. Metro Stars coming away with a 4-0 win. Andre Carl getting the game early goal within 2 minutes. Beautiful little finish, just turning and a dink over the top of Vaughan, who couldn't hold it. and that dropped in. Hamish Gow getting 2, 19th and 89th minute. And then Neon Kuru, who's in some great form at the moment, scoring in the 45th minute as well. So, Campbelltown not doing as well as they would have liked. They're now sitting down in 9th spot. Only 1 win in their last 5. Metro, bit of an interesting start to the year, as you can imagine, with a change of coach just before the season starts, and then Vanderbilt finally getting the go-ahead to be named as the coach for the rest of the season. He's brought in the likes of Tunbridge to help him, and club legend in Robbo, Lee Robertson, to aid with him coaching, and they're now starting to really find their feet. I mean, they haven't lost in the last 5. They've only lost 1 all season, to be fair, but won 3 of the last 5. And they're starting to play some good, attractive football at times as well. So the Metro that we sort of have come to know over the last couple of years, to be honest. And finishing up 4-0. So Campbelltown a bit of trouble in terms of having to try and make finals. I mean, between FKB grad now in 6, 18 points, Campbelltown on 14 points. It's not a huge gap, but when you look at the way teams are playing, you're sort of going, where are they going to get their next result from? But Campbelltown, fortunately for them, Para Hills in the next round.
Yeah, just looking at that table, Burkalla do sit top only by the point from Metro Stars. And of course, these past few weeks, Playford haven't won since that 8-1 win against Para Hills. And they've dropped down to third, equal now with Adelaide City equal in points there. All right, on to our predictions. But Alessio, how did we do last week?
We're doing pretty consistent in terms of getting results. The perfects were not as great as last week, unfortunately. But again, guess who did the best this week? It was David. 20 points, 1 perfect scoreline, and he's edging closer to both Seb and Mark there. We'll go through them. So
he's now
Mark
only
picked
26 points behind them.
No, it's actually a lot closer.
That's a lot closer.
Take 20 off that and you might be there. And so Mark, his perfect score was Bacala, men, 4-1. He got 19 points. So he's on 259 points, 22 perfect. David got 20 results. And his perfect scoreline was West Adelaide women. He's on 252, 22 perfect scores. So 7 behind Mark. Seb, 18 points. He had 1 perfect, but I didn't put the team that he got it against. But he's on 258 with 23 points. So 1 behind Mark, 6 ahead of David. And I got 18 with no perfect. And that puts me on 268 with 23 perfect still. So top is myself. Second is Mark, 259. Third, Seb, 258. And fourth, David, 252. So he's definitely climbing on both of you guys. And he's had 2 great weeks.
Perfect. We'll go on to our predictions. No State League 2 or WMPL this weekend. WMPL, of course, because of the Cup. State League 2, no clue. But
King's birthday long weekend. Like junior
Sure.
football, they've just called it off for the weekend.
Yeah, sure. So we start with the WSL. Elizabeth Grove versus the Cove, the rhyming derby.
Grove v.
Rhyming derby.
I'll go Grove 3-1.
I'm going to go Cove 2-1.
I'm going to go Cove 1-0.
And I'm going to go Cove 2-0. State League 1, Adelaide Blue Eagles versus Adelaide Olympic.
Well, what an enticing game this one is, to be honest.
I'm going to go for an Olympic 3-2 win at Martin.
I'm going to go Blue Eagles 2-0 win at Martin.
I'm going to go Blue Eagles 2-1 at Apex. Oh, sorry, they're playing at Olympic. Both of you said that they were playing at Blue Eagles grounds. I was like, oh, well. But no, Blue Eagles 2-1.
I'll go 2-all draw.
Boring. On to the WNPL WSL Cup. Of course, the two semi-finals both being played at Mount Barker, Morrie Vista and West Adelaide. But we'll predict Adelaide Comets versus West Torrens Berkala. I'm going to go for a Comets 2-1 after extra time.
So, Comets and West Torrens Berkala, is it?
Yep.
Yep.
I'm
I'll
gonna
go West Torrens
Comets.
Berkala. Sorry.
That's right. I'll go Comets 4-2 in extra time.
I'll go West Torrens Berkala 3-1 in extra time.
Oh, I'm going to go 2-1 Bacala in 90. Mitch, don't let me down, mate. And Chrissy will score Comet's goal.
In the men's NPL, FK Beergrad versus Metro Stars at FK Beergrad. I'm going to go FK Beergrad 1-0.
This is that FK Beergrad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, this is the game
I'm
on.
going to go 2-2 draw.
Wow, I didn't think it was that hard.
I'm going to go draw as well. 3-0.
That's because you're on it.
No, I'm going to go Metro Stars. I'll go Metro Stars to win it 3-2. There you go.
I'm going to go Metro 2-1 with a wink to Adrian and the boys at FK.
And finally, for a bit of fun, we're going to predict the charity match. Playing for Ross, the local game
the Sassel
versus Sassel podcast. How do we think it will go?
Is there
David,
points
who
on
are you
this one?
supporting, David?
Well, I guess, look, I've probably made 12 appearances on the local game and I've made 350 appearances for Sassel. So maybe Sassel.
Well, our biggest enemy.
I haven't been picked, so I'm bitter and angry. So I'm going to go for whoever. No, I'm only kidding. I'm fine with it. I'm going to go. I don't really care who wins. I think it's more about the event, isn't it? I just hope it's fun. Nobody gets hurt. Because at our ages, these things can.
They can certainly
Hang on.
hurt.
Hang on. Don't speak for all of us.
Well,
Yeah, I was going to say those.
We're
two
not all
young-
60 years old like you.
what was the question? Did you ask my question?
Your prediction. What's your
Oh,
prediction?
my prediction. I think Sassel will win it.
Score?
Well, I don't actually know. It's a bit hard because I'm not actually sure who's playing in what team. So
I can tell you.
I'm saying Sassel.
Because Sassel are the yellow. When he announces it, the Sassel are the yellow backgrounds, and the blue is the local game players.
Oh, right. I haven't.
So he's got on the yellow he's got Jason Trimboli, Chad Bajaya, Marcelo Karuska, Timmy Crawford, Harry Crawford's dad. He's got Neil Edwards, who's been around in the Amateur League for many years. These are the ones that I know that he's announced. And then in the local game, he's got the likes of Fifey, Dan Mullen, Marcus Flores.
Start with the small names, yep.
Barbiero,
Barbiero. I'm just trying to remember
Jared
the big names because
Walsh.
the other ones, Jared Walsh,
Robbie
and
Lippert.
then Robbie Lippert, and then us lot. So
What about the other Robbie Lippert, the one that's in the block? Or is he talking about the Robbie Lippert that's in West
I don't
Adelaide?
know. I don't know which one's going to rock up. So if he rocks up in tradie stuff, we're in trouble.
I'm still going to back Sassel. I really don't know, but Sassel. There you go, 4-2.
Is there points on this game? Like if we.
Nah, we're not
Because-
gonna. Surely
Oh,
that's
good,
insider
because-
trading. We
I
can't.
was going to say,
we
because
can't
you know what,
impact
I'm
the-
playing in goals, so I'll pick us to lose 13-0, and I'll just let in 13 goals.
Yeah, you can see it going. It's like we have 4-1, and you go, "Oh, actually, we're a bit up here. Let me just." Oops.
Did I do 4-3?
Exactly.
Put me in centre back. Just give me a
I
minute.
was like, how many goals did I say I was going to concede? 12? All right, I'll go with 12.
I'm going to go 7-3 for the local game.
Oh, jeez. I'm only conceding 3. That's all right. Appreciate
Forgot
that.
you're in goal.
Yeah.
I'll make that
7-6
7-4
now.
I'll make that 7-4. What are your scores?
I'll go 7-5 to the local game.
Mark, finally for you.
For me, the real winner is football, and the charity. We're going to hit our target of 10,000.
Mhm.
So that's for me is the winner for the day.
Wow, no
It
prediction.
feels a bit improper to be predicting on a charity match.
It's a bit of fun.
I don't know. It's just,
You got to pick a score, Mark. You got to pick who's going to win.
8-8, and then it's going to go to penalties.
Is there a winner after those penalties?
No, because they're going to stop playing because no one's going to be able to decide a winner. Everyone's going to take like 11, like it'll be 11 penalties taken, and then we'll have to get kicked off for the first team. So.
Perfect. Nah, looking forward to it. I really hope you heckle us, David. To be honest, like I'm expecting you as to what you did Alessio, at his real proper game. I expect that right back towards us.
I would be heckling you if I was on the park, never mind off it. So yeah, you'll probably.
Just stand behind Mark's goal and just hurl abuse at him for the whole match.
Been there, done
Are you
that.
wearing the GoPro again, Mark?
No, not this time. Not unless Seb wants me to, but no.
I haven't even thought about it yet. I'll think about it.
No.
I'll think about it.
You just let me know. But I was gonna say I hadn't given any thought, to be honest. Yeah, we'll see how we go.
No, looking forward to it. Do make sure you get down there on Sunday. All 4 of us will be there. So come say hi, come watch, donate. I think the full amounts of the donations will be revealed at half time of the final being played after.
Yes. Yep.
So yeah, please do come. It'll be a fun day. There are good footballers there. We promise it's not just us buffoons running around.
No, exactly. There's some fantastic footballers on show.
Yeah, and then there's Mark Talbot.
And then there's me.
Yeah, just really, really looking forward to it. But that's our show for another week. Our last one with Alessio for, I think it's about 5 weeks, because obviously next week we're on a Tuesday and you're training then, and then you're off to the World Cup. So
Have you told your coach yet?
Yeah, I told him. Yeah, we actually our trainings got cancelled this week because of a bit of the weather and because we have no game this week. So I said, couldn't tell you in person tonight, but I'll try and be there next Tuesday. I've got to give him the VO to look after while I'm away. But yeah, they took it well. I think they have some other people going away to Europe as well. So I said, at least it's not a dodgy Bali trip. It's actually for a once in a lifetime opportunity. So
once every 4-year opportunity, really, because World Cup comes around every 4 years. So
yeah.
But yeah, so no Alessio for the next 5 weeks, and I'm sure we'll have a special guest co-host each one of those weeks. Guests as always, and I'm sure I'll make you send in videos to embarrass yourself, Alessio, wherever you are in Canada during the duration of when you're there for the World Cup. Anything else from anybody else to finish off for another week?
There's still regular league football this week. Friday night, there's not too many games, so make sure you're getting out to those. Of course, with 3 leagues not playing this week, gives more opportunity to go out and watch games you haven't. So make sure you head out to those State League 1, WSL, MPL, teams. And then, everyone who's, maybe even not involved, make sure you come out to that Sunday. I think it'll be great for a lot of the football community. Of course, not many federation teams play on a Sunday, so it'd be great to see as many of those players and coaches there as well. And if you're a player who's coached under some of these, then it might be fun to hurl abuse from the other side when you're not usually get to.
Exactly. Exactly right there. So, but no, and for me, just if you want to get involved with the show, obviously reach out to us and let us know in what capacity. That's because we will certainly appreciate it.
No, absolutely. Yeah, just forget one thing. Finish off. We also have our World Cup tipping competition, in which the QR code is there, and I'll talk for a few seconds to leave it up. So you are able to scan it and join. Of course, the World Cup only just about a week away now. Yes, David.
I would just suggest that if that QR code can maybe go in the middle of the screen, that might be good, because when it came up on my screen at home, it cut off there, and I couldn't read the code.
I can't move it, so that that will have to.
There. But what we might do
there.
is put a link. What we might do is put a link
Chuck
on
it
an
on
old-fashioned
socials.
URL, a uniform resource location address, so you can go to via our socials. I'll get that to Seb, and he can post that.
Someone works in IT, clearly. And then also, again, if you can scan the code, the fundraiser for the match is also here, but it's also available on Johnny's social media. I'm sure you'll be able to find it in some way. We'll have a link to it somewhere in the description of this episode. Yeah, please donate. It's for a great cause, and I'm sure he's putting on a great event. I know how much he's worked on this and how busy he's been the past few weeks trying to sort out people and just various things going on the day. So if you can show up for him and for the charity, that would be greatly appreciated. And I'm saying that on behalf of him as well. He would very much appreciate it. And yeah, it's all for charity and all for good fun, and yeah, getting to put on the boots, be different for once. So yes, no, that's us done for another week. Thank you for watching, listening, and interacting with our stuff. We'll be back next week on a Tuesday. Actually, I should probably mention that we'll be on Tuesday next week, of course, due to the Men's Australia Cup preliminary final, the State League 1 clash, I suppose you can call it, on the Wednesday, and then the same for the week after when it's the all NPL match will be on a Tuesday. If that's for the next 2 weeks, that will be on a Tuesday night. And yeah, Alessio gone for the next 5 weeks, so we'll be the three of us with a co-host, we imagine, for those weeks. So yeah, do look forward to that. But that's us for another week. Thank you for joining us, and yeah, we'll see you next Tuesday.
And we look like we're heading to extra time, but there's still 5 minutes to play here, Mark. And by all means, there could be more chances. Still in the box, and it's another goal! And it's Andre Cole, the hero for Croydon! We thought it was over, but it's not over, and Croydon look like they're going to go all the way to the win.
We can't say that now.
Here goes Yuki Sasaki into the area. Panagaris, Chrissy Panagaris. Adelaide Comets have taken the lead.
Falcon there, but it leaves Owen Windsor. And a third for Metro Stars.
Here's Emma Ryan. She's not one of them because she's from Darwin. The shot from DeCola. Lily DeCola scores in the cup final again and wins it for West Adelaide.
As the ball cuts back here to Odenwalder. And James Odenwalder scores. He makes it 2-0 for West Adelaide on the day.
I bet he was going to be Travella if he puts one in. He goes himself instead. And it's still Soy Sakani. It's unbelievable, David, as well. And that one is definitely going to be credited to him.
Will have to be chased down by Rapawano. He'll put in a cross of his own. Hobbs wasn't able to capture it. It's in! It's not the one that seals out the Atletico promotion.
I got the skills to make the girls sing, and the geezers too. Yeah, we're doing this thing.